Hi friends. So I wanted to talk about stereotyping and my thoughts behind how to think about it. At first, I always thought of it as something bad and negative, and I always had negative feelings towards the word stereotyping too. I just couldn't see anything good about it. No redeeming quality. It was just a bad thing, a bad behavior. But I guess working in the international division has got me to better understand the word and gain a different perspective and see it as a tool. And so it's not that it's inherently good or bad, but it's how it's used or how it's understood that's important. Um, and yeah, to kind of dive into the story, working in their international division, each member of the group are responsible for different regions, countries, and at first, I was a little irked when I was being taught about a specific region that I was taking over and how there are certain behavioral patterns there that might not be best for our business uh, practice. So, how to deal with it. And when I heard these things, it just felt like they were saying it all in a negative way about the people. But after working for a bit, I better understood what they meant. And I realized that I was automatically assuming they were meaning what they were saying in a negative way. But I also realized afterwards that sometimes it's just their personal experiences that have proven over time a certain behavioral pattern of a group. And so they figured out the best way to deal with it. And it has nothing to do with it being good or bad, but just how best to deal with it. Because the point of a salesperson is to figure out how to sell your product to a customer, how to find a customer interested in your product, and how to get them to buy it, and how to get them to continue to buy it. So you have to know the market, the local market, the culture, the values, the business practices, and of course, as humans, we can't get to know every single person. We can't get to know 100% of everything we can ever know about a person. So the only thing we could do is create patterns based off of our exposure and experiences. And we as humans do this automatically, unconsciously. We create biases and stereotypes, these patterns. That's what they are. It's a survival mechanism, and it's also to optimize our interactions with people and new people based off of limited time and resource. And it becomes even more limiting when you're doing sales work, because you really have to figure out how to catch a person's attention and hold them. And so a good salesperson has a lot of experience and exposure in the first place, and through that they've figured out behavioral patterns, and so they know how to deal or capture people from that specific group that they've created stereotypes for. And so after having worked and personally experiencing some of these behavioral patterns that I was warned about previously, I realized that one, I'm sure I was automatically assuming these stereotypes that I was being taught as all being negative, but it wasn't. It was just the their truths, and they were just trying to figure out how best to approach a difference in value and difference in business practice or operation to better uh, match what we value within our business practice. And at the same time, they're probably doing the same thing too to us, where they have their values and our values don't match. So they, based off of their own personal experiences, they see behavioral patterns that we do and deal with us in a way that best suits their values. That's all it is. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is that experience there really opened my eyes, made me realize that, firstly, not just because people may say a stereotype, they don't always mean it in a bad way. And number two, stereotype is partially, I think, a natural occurrence, and it's how we act on those stereotypes or how we understand it that is important. And yeah, it I guess, yeah, this topic would go on forever, so I'll just cut it there. But that was my learning. It's not a good or bad thing, it's just a thing. It's something we do as humans. And so the conclusion I kind of came to after thinking a little further is that it's the intention of what we want to do with our built up stereotypes with a group is what's important. If I have good intentions on wanting to do something that benefits both of us, it's okay utilizing the stereotype and also communicating our understanding of each other. But as soon as we try to utilize the stereotype to benefit ourselves, that's where I think it kind of gets a little not good. It becomes a bad thing. And yeah, it's a tricky line, because another thing that I realize is that if I notice a certain behavioral pattern or a stereotype kind of that I create about a group, and I try to kind of fix it or change it, that mentality right there, part of it I think is me thinking that I'm superior, or that my way of thinking or acting or whatever is better. And that's why I'm doing that. And that's not good either. And that's where, like, I guess my conclusion comes into play here. It's the intention. Am I trying to fix or change things because I think the way I'm doing things is better? Or is it, am I communicating and understanding their values and trying to figure out with them a way to benefit both of us? And by yeah, changing the intention to there, the direction, the way I utilize uh, my biases and stereotypes towards a group. In that way, I think it becomes a better thing where we both learn and we both grow and we both benefit. Uh, but yeah, I think I'm a bit tired. Anyways, those were my thoughts. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you guys up again another time. Bye.